So class, ribosomes are basically the small structures. They are the small organelles that are found in cytoplasm. See here, forget about this structure. See, if this is the cell, fine, this is the nucleus. So here we have ribosomes. So they are present in the cytoplasm. They are present either in free form. Free form means they are just swimming here and there in the cytoplasm. They are very free. Or they can be attached to, or they are attached to endoplasmic reticulum. या तो ये फ्री होते हैं या फिर they are attached to endoplasmic reticulum. So when they are attached to endoplasmic reticulum, you know it is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Fine. Now what is the function of ribosome? Basically ribosomes are made up of proteins and RNA. Fine. And they are also known as protein factory of a plant, because they are the one who make proteins. So they join with endoplasmic reticulum and they make proteins. So that is why they are known as protein factory of the cell, because they are responsible for formation of proteins. So this was all about ribosomes. So I hope you're clear with the ribosomes as a small machinery that are responsible for protein synthesis. Actually, they basically, you can say, like they all attaches to endoplasmic reticulum and then they make the entire complex which is responsible for making proteins. So this was about the ribosome. Now let us study about the food vacuole. Now class, so let's talk about mitochondria and chloroplast. Now if you see, this is the cell we have, and in center nucleus is there, and there are many rod shaped organelles that are present. You know, the shape of these organelles are like this. So these rod shaped organelles are nothing but the mitochondria. So these rod shaped are known as mitochondria. So mitochondria are basically the rod shaped organelles, and they are also known as powerhouse of the cell. Powerhouse means something that is generating power. जैसे for example, for like you all like for example, to do your day-to-day activities you need energy. So from where the energy is coming? Who is the one who is actually producing the energy in your body? So mitochondria are the one who are actually producing energy, and that energy you are using for doing your daily activities like running, playing, listening, hearing, or whatever. So without mitochondria, your cell will not be able to produce energy, and without energy you won't be able to survive. So see how essential mitochondria are for your body. So they basically produces energy by the process of respiration, and the process by which mitochondria is making energy is known as respiration. And how are they using and how are they making, like what are the raw materials that are needed for making energy? See, the raw material that is needed, we have glucose and oxygen. Both of them they combine and then ATP is formed and your CO2 is formed, right? So this ATP is your adenosine triphosphate. It is the energy. So mitochondria, they are making energy in form of ATP. and from where this glucose is coming? From the food that you're eating. So whatever food you're eating, that is digested by your digestive system and it is converted into glucose. Now the oxygen that you're breathing, that oxygen combined with that glucose and it forms ATP and CO2. ATP is used by the cell, whereas CO2 is of no use, so it is expelled by your body. So this process is known as respiration. This process is your respiration. Fine. And this is how mitochondria, they are making energy. So a cell can have many mitochondria. So they are present in many numbers. So this was the role of mitochondria, and because they are involved in making energy, they are also known as powerhouse of the cell. So this was about mitochondria. Now let's move on to chloroplasts. Now what are chloroplasts? See, mitochondria are present in both animal cell as well as in plant cells, because both the cells, both the organisms, they require energy. So mitochondria should be there in both the cells. Now if we talk about chloroplast, the structure of chloroplast is like this. So what are chloroplasts? Basically, they are the color organelles. They are the green color organism. You must have seen green colors of the plant. So why is plant green in color? Because of the presence of chloroplast. So chloroplast is nothing but a green color organelle. This organelle is green in color and this is present in the cell. Now why this is green in color? Because it has chlorophyll. Now this chlorophyll, it is important for the process of photosynthesis. You must have studied about the process of photosynthesis in junior classes, that photosynthesis is a process in which green plant, they make their own food using sunlight. So what all are, so you can understand it in this way. So plants, they use sunlight, they use CO2 and they use water along with the chlorophyll. So plants, they use all these things and then they prepare food in form of glucose and they give out oxygen. Fine. So this is the process of photosynthesis, and what is chlorophyll doing in it? Chlorophyll is actually converting the solar energy into chemical energy. So this is the function of the chlorophyll. So it is converting solar energy into chemical energy, and in addition to it, it is giving green color to the plant. Fine. So this is the function of chlorophyll. Chloroplasts are not found in the roots. If you see the structure of a plant, chloroplasts are found everywhere, but they are absent in the root areas. Different colors of a flowers are due to the plastids. Now class, see what happens. Plastids are basically the organelles that are present in the cell, and they are there of three types. We have chromoplast, leucoplast and chloroplast. So chromoplasts are responsible for giving color to the flower, color to the plant. You must have seen there are many different colors, like there are leaves of many different colors. You must have seen some leaves are purple in color, some leaves are slightly brownish reddish in color. So why are those of that color? Or you must have seen tomato red in color. So why are they so colorful? Due to the presence of chromoplast. So chromoplast is the one who is actually giving colors to your leaves and flower. Fine. Then you have leucoplast. The function of leucoplast is basically to store food in form of starch. And the function of chloroplast, we have already discussed that they have chlorophyll and they help in production of food. Now class, animal cells, they do not have chloroplast. This is the reason why we are unable to make our own food, and this is the reason why we are dependent on plants for our food. Fine, so I hope you are clear with mitochondria and chloroplast. Now let's move on to another organelle, which is endoplasmic reticulum. Now when we say endoplasmic reticulum, so what is it? So basically class, endoplasmic reticulum is like this. Endoplasmic reticulum, and we'll talk about the ribosomes also. So class, now let's talk about the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum, if you see a cell, if this is your cell and in center if you have this nucleus, you'll see the flattened sacs. Can you see these sacs? So these sac-like structures are known as endoplasmic reticulum. Now this type of structure, these are flattened. If you see, they are very flat and they're sac-like. Flattened sac-like structure. And if you see in detail, तो ये flat like structure, they are arising from the outer membrane of the nucleus. See, this is your nucleus and this is the outer membrane of the nucleus, which is porous. So these flat like structure are arising from the, they are connected to the outer membrane of the nucleus. Fine. Then these endoplasmic reticulum are of two types. We have rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now, why are they known as rough endoplasmic and smooth endoplasmic? Class, ribosomes are important for synthesis of the protein. They are involved in making protein. So, when ribosomes are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, then you will call this endoplasmic reticulum as rough endoplasmic reticulum. So here I am writing endoplasmic reticulum plus ribosomes. And why is it known as rough? Because when endoplasmic reticulum is observed under the microscope, it appears very rough. You know, the surface appears very rough. And that is why it is called a rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now, if we see smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is simply flattened sac-like. There are no ribosomes present in it. So in this we have simply endoplasmic reticulum. There are no ribosomes in it. So that is why it is called smooth, because it appears to be smooth. Now, the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum is protein synthesis. They are involved in making proteins. You know, proteins are the building block of your life. Proteins are involved in making many new cells for the tissue injury or for any kind of, for healing any kind of injury. Proteins are involved everywhere in the growth and development also. Fine. So protein synthesis may they help, whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they help in lipid synthesis for making of fats. Basically, fats are also important because they insulate your body and they give you energy. So rough endoplasmic reticulum are involved in protein synthesis, whereas smooth are involved in lipid synthesis. So this was about your endoplasmic reticulum. Now let's understand what is a food vacuole, or you can say let us study about let us understand about the ribosomes. Ribosomes are like this in structure. So they are basically